Hello, welcome to my reselling channel, Flippin Hippos. I'm Star. Today's Tuesday, so we're doing a Tuesday tutorial. This request comes from my friend and colleague from 10th and Main, Kelly, who asked me, do you have a tutorial video on Whatno shipping yet? And I said, I do not, but I will have one next Tuesday. So we're going to go over Whatno shipping, and I'm going to give you a couple of tips and tricks I have learned along the way from actual mistakes that I made, so you can learn from my mistakes and not make the same costly mistakes that I did. Before we jump into the Whatno shipping, I do want to let you guys know that I do like to do these tutorial videos every Tuesday. So if you have anything you would like me to teach, go over, do a screen share about, or a tutorial for, let me know in the comments. I do take all requests and I will make anything you guys want to see. I have my own list of tutorials I want to get to, but I figure if people are actually asking for them, those are probably the ones that are more sought after and I can push up an importance of filming. Okay, that said, we're going to get into the Whatno shipping. It can seem to be a little overwhelming and convoluted when you first start selling on Whatno. It's really easy for buyers. From the buyer's point of view, Whatno figures what the cost is going to be when the auction comes up, and then it goes down as you buy more. So if you're a buyer and you buy an auction for a shirt that has ground shipping on it for, say, $9, Whatno will let you have the next auction at like $1 shipping. What they basically do is let you fill a box all for one price. This all takes place in the back end. The seller really doesn't have to do much more than put in the correct weight on each of their auctions. And the buyer doesn't need to do anything else than look at the auction. It'll say, $2 start, $3 start, and it'll have the amount of shipping. That's really all we need to be looking at. But there's still more that goes into it. And I feel like this already sounds confusing. It doesn't need to be. Whatnot's AI or algorithm or whoever the wizard behind the curtain is figures out the cost of each auction for shipping. And if you're doing static listings, you just put in the weight like you would any other platform. So we don't really have to put a lot of thought into it. Whatno does that for us. But we do need to put some thought into it. So I want to go over a couple of things with you. The first thing I'm going to do is show you their setup shipping before your sell page. I'm going to link all of these in the description box so you can see them. There's this one, and then there's help page for shipping, which is a 2-page document with all kinds of FAQs on it. And then how to change or fix your shipping label, how to bundle and unbundle shipping. And then I'm going to show you some tips and tricks, but I'll put these first 4 links down below. Before your first sale on Whatno, take a few minutes to review your shipping setup. By default, buyers are charged shipping automatically at checkout. When your settings and shipping profiles are set up correctly, buyers see accurate shipping costs, labels will generate correctly, and bundling works as expected. That bundling is what I was talking about, where it lets you keep auctioning on items and adding them to your purchase with less shipping for the buyer as it goes. And then it bundles it at the end, and the seller puts all those items in one box or one bag. So basically, shipping on Whatno depends on how an item is sold and how it's listed. If it's a live show, shipping is based on your seller hub shipping defaults. Shipping settings you customize for a specific show, which I'm going to show you here. I have that pulled up, so we will go over that. And then shipping profile. So we have your edit your shipping session settings, which I'll link to. So here's where it tells you how to change your default shipping settings. You can set up a profile. You can set them up for each individual show. Now, if you go to your seller hub on Whatnot, switch to selling. Oh, I told you to switch to selling. I clicked the wrong thing. You want to get to your seller hub. And then you just go down to shipments and you can do shipping profiles here. I only have one set up for my giveaways for a very good reason, which we're going to talk about when I get to the changing your individual shows. But this page tells you all how it works on the live shipping. Orders placed outside of shows, the shipping profile selected. We're going to actually do a pretend listing together too, so you can see that. So just make sure you have default shipping settings in Seller Hub before you start selling, shipping settings for individual shows, shipping profiles for your products. And then if you need to make a change after sale, you can. This is the 2-page shipping informational link I'm going to give you. That I'm not going to go over every single thing in here, but I will give you this link so that you can go through all of this. This is like an FAQ, 2 pages worth of FAQs, and you can read all about anything you need to know about selling. Basically, though, when you start selling on Whatnot, you want to set up shipping profiles. When you're doing static listings, you want to make sure you choose the correct weight. And then when you do your shows, if you need special considerations for that show, like if you want to do flat rate or the stickers that cost 78 cents to ship, you'll set that up. And from there, you just make sure that you're putting in the correct weights during your shows. And that wizard behind the curtain I talked about will take all of that into account when bundling your buyer's purchases into one shipment. But if you need to change or fix the label, here's what you can and cannot edit. You cannot edit your return address after generation. So until you generate the label, right before you print it, that last step, you can still do your return address. You can't ever edit a buyer's. You can edit label or packing slip size, weight or dimensions, bundling, unbundling, and sometimes you can do the shipping service. Here's how to make all the changes to the labels. This article goes over bundle and unbundle shipments. This lets you control which items ship together and fix any orders that didn't bundle correctly. So why would you want to do this? Well, for instance, I had a woman purchase several plushies from me at one of my Whatnot plushie shows, and they were all bundled over that 5-pound point where Whatnot makes it priority shipping, ground shipping, sorry. And I only had priority boxes to ship in that day. I was waiting on my shipment of ground boxes. So I just unbundled a few and got them into several boxes for her. I hope that made sense. If it didn't, let me know in the comments and I'll explain it again. I'll be happy to. But if you need to bundle or unbundle, this is how to do it. I'm not going to read this to you. I'm going to give you this link and you make sure you save it somewhere. So if you're ever in a position where you need to unbundle so you can ship easier or more packages, or if you want to bundle to ship together, this is how you do it. Okay, so you go to your shows by clicking your little guy here up in the right. Okay, and then clicking shows. And then you can edit any of your shows. I'm in the past shows, sorry. If you have upcoming shows, you can edit them. And it will take you to a page similar to this. And for each individual show, this is above and beyond your shipping profiles. And this is so important. And I'm probably going to say that 10 times because it's so important. I had my shipping profile set up for the 0 to 1 ounce weight so I could do sticker giveaways. and spend 78 cents to send them to the winners in a white envelope. What I didn't do was set up the individual shipping for each show. So even though I have the shipping profile set up, I didn't have this very important box checked. And my first 2 giveaways charged me $4 and something for ground shipping. So if you're giving away stickers or those lightweight gifts and you really want to only pay 78 cents to ship these gifts, these stickers, in a white envelope, you need to go to each individual show under domestic shipments, eligible shipments under 3 ounces. You've got to toggle that button on. You have to also have the shipping profile, which I showed you that I have. Okay. And then make sure you toggle this button. And then when you list your giveaway, I'm going to edit one of my giveaways to show you. It's got to be in the stickers category. And you need to put 0 to 1 ounces in your shipping amount there. But you have to make sure USPS first class mail letter is checked. And this is for shipments under $20. That way 3 ounces or less in trading cards, sports cards, stickers categories. And you can view the full criteria here. You know what? We'll throw that in the links I'm including. Why not? And so you can also control each show here, individual shows. So if you wanted one show to have flat rate boxes, you could just toggle it here, and only that show will have flat rate boxes. No other show that you create, just this one. Flat rate boxes ship at a rate within the United States that's fixed, regardless of weight or distance. So you may want to do that if you have flat rate boxes that you want to do like a sell with a fill box. I'll throw this in the links too. That's a lot. I mean, I'd be here an hour if I was reading it all to you, but I will put the links in there with clear titles. You can save all of these and then save them in a notepad, save them somewhere on your computer. And the next time you're like, how do I unbundle? You go find, this is how I unbundle. This is how I change a label. This is a guide to US flat rate. You can choose flat rate for your sales. I always use ground for over 5 pounds. I believe that's the low. Let's look at it together. Ground advantage, eligibility, hazmat. The pricing is really cheap. So I always just have that turned on. If it's under 5 pounds, it usually sticks it in priority mail. Domestic shipments over 5 pounds. There you go, star. So you want your eligible shipments under 3 ounces on. Domestic shipments from 1 to 5 pounds. You may choose priority mail or flat rate. I choose priority because I have those big 12 by 12 by 9 boxes that I can ship a whole bunch of plush in when one buyer buys more than one plush. But if I had flat rate boxes to fill up, I would pick those. And I believe it doesn't matter. We've got so many tabs open here. It doesn't matter which small, medium, or large flat rate box you use. It's all just one rate. It's a fixed cost per shipment. It's $9.21. It's per shipment, not per show or buyer. So if a buyer places multiple orders during a show and the item shipped separately, each flat rate shipment will cost $9.21. This includes the label price plus a small fee to help cover the operational cost of features like smart bundling. Smart bundling is what they call that wizard behind the curtain that I was explaining. I don't personally use the flat rate, but you can if you want. So for 1 to 5 pounds, I just leave it at priority. And then over 5 pounds, you can still do priority. It's expensive for your buyers. You can do flat rate, which is good. And you can use ground advantage. And then you can have them pay all of it. You can split it with them. Or you can do free shipping. most buyers on Whatnot are expecting to pay shipping, and they like that smart bundling feature. So I just let them pay it. They're used to it. Most of them will bid until their smart bundle discounts out. So I did mention, like when I bought these swimsuits, it was $9.21 for the first one, and then $1.78 and $2.16. When I reach a limit, that smart bundling starts over, and you see your shipping go back up as a buyer. And most people will shop until that's gone and they like it. So I just leave that. This has been a lot of information I'm throwing at you. I hope that what I talked about, you understood. It's a lot. But if you have more questions, comments, concerns, you can always ask me in the comment section below. And then I'm going to put every single one of these links in my description box with what they are. You can just copy paste them into a notepad somewhere on your computer, a Word document, and that way when you need to know any of these topics, you'll have it right, all these links right there at the tips of your fingers, and you can look them up and see what you're trying to do. I'm just going through and getting them in order right now, somewhat of an order. But that's how you ensure that you have the stickers, so you don't pay more than 78 cents for a giveaway you did for free. This is the guide to ground. I showed you the shipping profile on the show for your giveaways if you're doing the stickers. And then I'm going to show you, let's do one listing together so you can see this in action. Just like you would with any other platform, you're going to pick a category. I always forget that this is under toys. We'll just pick toys. So you go down, you select, you have one, you fill out your listing, put your price in. Do you accept offers? If you want to run flash sales during live shows, you turn on the flash sale. And you can reserve these. So you can have static listings that buyers can buy all the time, or you can reserve it that they can only buy it during a live show. I want them to buy it all the time. Just buy my stuff. Shipping profile right here. You just pick how much it weighs. As long as you're putting that in correctly, you'll be fine. And speaking of that, your auctions. You want to make sure your auctions are being put in correctly. So I do jewelry unboxings. I don't have specific listings for each particular piece of jewelry that I'm auctioning off, because I'm just opening a box and pulling them out. So I have 1 to 3 ounce and a 4 to 7 ounce. And these are set up so that when the auction runs, the correct weight is going in. And that smart bundling feature and Whatnot can do its thing in the background and combine these items for the buyer. So you just make sure you have the correct ounce in here. And I always put the ounce in my title so I know when I'm over here running auctions which one to do. This gets really complicated with my ceramics I'm selling, these knickknacks I got from Keith's aunt's estate. Let me show you. I had to put in so many different variations, but this is what you need to do when you want your weights to be correct and you want your buyers to pay the correct weight. You don't want your buyers to have to pay up front when they get their package, and you don't want to get in trouble with Whatnot. And I don't have anything loaded in that one. That's funny. You can clone shows. So you go to clone items here. We're just going to do it together for my show tomorrow. And you just select everything you had in the previous show, and you can clone it to another show. So all these listings I created for my Whatnot, for my ceramic pigs, I only had to do it one and done. And then I just clone it for the rest of the time. So I have $2 ones, and those were all little tiny toys and stuff that were only going to be like 8 ounces. They're like plushies. And then I have $5 1 to 2 pounds, $5 2 to 3 pounds, 4 to 7 ounces. You can see here down on the left. I don't know if I said that. I'm on the left over here under my auctions. I have every price point and every weight. And that did take a little bit of time to set up, but one and done. Then you just clone it for the rest of your shows. But this way I can select the proper weight for everything I run. And I do that with my plushies as well. I'll show you that real quick, and then I'm going to let you go, because this has been kind of a long video, and I threw a ton of information at you, like a whole bunch of time. I should be doing my past shows. So let's go here. So plush 1 to 2, 1 to 3 ounce, 4 to 7 ounce, 8 to 11. See what I'm saying? I just have everything ready to go. And that way I'm selecting the correct weights, and I don't have to worry about changing my labels later. Although you do get 5 corrections. I want to say it's a week, but it might only be a month. But you do get a little bit of leeway if you ever need to fix something or make a correction. But I try to avoid that as much as possible and just put in all my correct weights. So to sum up this very long video with all this information I threw at you, set up your shipping profiles on your Seller Hub. Make sure that you are setting up each show's shipping. If you want to change things and make them different. When you are listing an item, make sure you're putting the correct weight in the listing. If it's a static listing, that's simple. It's just like any other platform. If you're setting up a show and you want to sell a bunch of clothes, make sure you have different options in there for different weights. I weigh stuff before I run it so I can put the correct weight in. And then I'm going to have all the links in the description box for you so you can have that at your fingertips very easily. I mean, I Googled it. It wasn't that hard to find, but wouldn't it be easier if you could just copy and paste and put it somewhere? Probably. I already did the work. Everyone can benefit from it. So again, questions, comments, let me know. Kelly, did I answer your question about shipping, or did I just make this more convoluted? Like I said at the beginning, Whatnot shipping seems so convoluted and so overwhelmingly confusing. And at the end of the day, it's really not, but it's all the stuff that goes on that can make it very confusing. So if you need more clarification, questions answered, I will tell you the answer. And if I don't know it, I will find who does and give you the answer. All right. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe, because it helps me feed my hungry hippos. I'll see you in the next one.